There's some things going on here in Indiana that I'm sure people are generally unaware of. A year and a half to 2 years ago, we started being contacted by FEMA saying, you've got to put some plans together. We were to put together a plan to vaccinate every person in the county within 48 hours.
You're kidding me, wow.
And then that plan has to be practiced 2 or 3 times. I mean, literally, we've gotten every police officer we can, and buses and volunteers, and set it up. And then the sheriff's department started getting long questionnaires. I got one myself. I didn't fill it out, and lots of questions. What kind of resources do we have? What kind of how many officers? What can we handle? What are you going to do if Chicago has an emergency and you have 400,000 people heading in your county? Where can you put mass graves? We need to know spaces and mass graves. How many can you handle? Can you handle bodies from surrounding counties and those types of things? And we're going, what the heck are you guys talking about? Tell us what's going on. Oh, nothing's going on. We're just contingency plans. If something ever happened, we just really need to know how to handle things. And then I was contacted by Homeland Security through what they've got. What we have to do is have what is called a hazard mitigation plan. All right, well, that sounds good. And what they're saying is FEMA is saying that disasters are costing them too much money. So we've got to have a plan to mitigate the damage from disasters if a disaster ever happens.
They say some kind of search and rescue on the black of some of those vests. I'm removing my load off of my trailer right now. Once I start to pull around, maybe I can get another shot from a different angle. Couldn't see all of this stuff from my former position. See, civilians dressed with Army haircuts, so they are Army personnel.
I seen 2 Marines earlier, but I think it's just us that's running this.
Cool. So what exactly are you guys here for? Like, what's the main reason?
That we're right here?
Yeah.
Traffic control.
Traffic control?
They're wanting to switch the flow of traffic from that way to this way.
Cold ice water is free. Don't cost you.
Right, civilian traffic out of the inner city. We're the Army National Guard. We cover stuff inside the nation.
Particularly that was in emergencies. Do you know when it stopped just being emergencies?
It's for anything. Public events where local police departments don't have the manpower to cover.
Now, if you were by one of your commanders to do something like that, how would you feel about it?
Do something like what?
Like,
Explain.
do like house-to-house confiscations of weapons, like in Iraq or Afghanistan.
If it was in Iraq or Afghanistan, I mean it's a combat zone, you know.
Right, but what if it was here?
They wouldn't have no reason to make an order like that.
Right down to the actual pepper spray and live tasers. These guardsmen don't know what to expect, while most of the crowd pelt them with eggs and bottles. Ryan Levesque pretends he's just an innocent onlooker. Eventually, though, he unsuccessfully attempts to break through the defense.
The whole time they thought I was a student here, and I jumped that fence. They find out I'm Op 4, and they're going to be pretty upset.
In this drill, the trouble's created by people showing up without proper ID or living outside the designated vaccination area. All potential real-life scenarios. Ultimately, the guard makes many arrests and is forced to shut this vaccination site down.
Hopefully not real at all, but we will train just in case we are caught up for something to happen.
Now, they say this is not to suggest this is how they expect Mainers to react, but the bottom line, they say, these troops need to be prepared for anything. In Paris, Steve Minnick, News 8.
Giving away any personal information or anything that would affect you in any way, shape, or form, if you could, just tell these guys whatever it is you wish to tell them about the training that you received in Kentucky, and we'll go from there.
Well, the training we received was, you know, a lot of it was seemed like standard National Guard training, but others, they're really intent on training up on this stuff in a serious way. And we received, of course, riot control, which is pretty standard. But we also trained up on, you know, traffic control points, cordoning off a city, like a small town, setting up a perimeter around the town, and going into the town and locking it down and securing the town, and rounding up anybody who might be, you know, a threat,
Right.
as what would be perceived as by the command.
So let me stop you right there and say this. You brought this up earlier, which is a good point. The National Guard has a way around the Posse Comitatus Act in regards to it not being against our Constitution to help police the streets. And why is that?
Well, the way the National Guard works is that they work in unison with local law enforcement, and the National Guard can go in and detain somebody, but detaining is not technically arresting. It's holding them until it's justified whether they should be arrested or released. And local law enforcement actually comes up, takes the person, and they do the official arrest.
They're literally telling me that they want to harden our fire stations. All right, well, what do you mean by that? Well, you know how when a 747 hits, here's what he said today, when a 747 hits a nuclear reactor and just slides off of it, that kind of hardening we're talking about.
What